What is happening, everyone? Welcome to Best Practices. Just wanted to jump on for a little while and talk about something kind of popped in my head. Was reading a tweet, or it was a Facebook post, I think, from a friend of mine. His name is Elliot, Rivera. Really cool guy, real estate investor, does Airbnbs internationally, and just a good family man, and just a all-around cool cat. And he posted something that I thought was super profound, and I wanted to go ahead and mention that to my audience. I know it's been a while since I've done a video. I've actually been going through some things personally, but kind of getting that under control. And ironically, what he discussed was something that's super helpful even in my own life, and wanted to share it with you all. But he said that while everyone is outraged, critical, offended, and enraged, you could be creating, investing, purchasing, exercising, eating clean, reading, and meditating. And that just really spoke to me, especially at the time of life that I'm in right now. And also just, I'm actually filming this video on election day. We're in a bear market. A lot of us are aware of that. People are watching their stocks drop. And it's just crazy to me, despite what history shows us, even with how things bounce back and just how markets work. Just seeing just the fear, uncertainty, and doubt that people have behind decisions that they've made. And here's the funny thing. I know I'm relating that to investing, but that happens in our lives as well. We go through a tough patch, we go through something that's difficult, that's challenging, and it causes us to second guess major decisions that we've made. And that can be a job that you've taken, a place that you've moved to, a relationship. I know that doesn't apply to every relationship. There's some situations that obviously you need to get out of, but I'm just talking about just the day-to-day trials of interpersonal relationships, or a job, or moving someplace that's different, or dealing with kind of the after effects of a pandemic in terms of our investments or ideas or things that we want to accomplish, or developing a business, and you don't experience the year that you thought you would experience, something that you're working on, and it doesn't go exactly according to your plan, and you automatically start to experience those emotions, and they're hard. It's hard to overcome them. They can be overpowering. And this really spoke to me because when those things happen, one of the things that we can do is we can manifest positive energy as well, and think about positive outcomes. I had a friend one time, and I won't go into all the details, but they asked me just about the course of my life, and how many times I'm a man of faith, and they were speaking about God, and they were talking about how many times has God actually come through for me, and how many times has he not. And the amount of times that something that I thought was going to end up negative actually turned out in my favor, positive, or even better than I imagined, was much greater than I, in my thinking, would lead somebody to believe sometimes. Now, that doesn't mean that the outcomes were always positive, but that the likelihood of a positive outcome was just as likely, if not more likely, than that of a negative outcome. And how I chose to process or live or carry that space between the the thing or the hope and the outcome, it had a lot to do with like how my mental health was doing, my emotional health, my physical health even. And I would get to that positive result, but how I got there varied largely based on how I looked at it. So, one of the things I've really been trying to work on is my patience. And the reason I'm working on that is because there's so many things that, I want to kind of be at a certain place and they're not there yet. And so in my desire for them to be at that place that they're not at yet, a lot of times I can, wait in a way that doesn't give the impression that I believe that it's actually going to get to that place. And, that not only affects other people, but it also affects me. And I just really want to challenge all of us today to think about ways that we can show up when we don't quite see the result yet, that shows that we believe in a positive outcome. And what we feed ourselves in those times is likely going to influence how we wait or what we choose to do while we're waiting. And this happens to all of us. I'm guilty of this. I'm not saying this as a slight or a shot at anybody. But man, we can spend hours upon hours scrutinizing other people, trying to like, I gotcha, or aha, for just different things that are going on. Like I figured them out, like I cracked the code. And I'm not saying that stuff isn't necessary. There's a lot of false information out there. There's a lot of, people that are, intentionally trying to do things to others. I, as a black man, have my opinions on, some of the things that have been done to me that are systemic. And there are, systems that are in place that affect me maybe differently than they do people who don't have my skin color. Of course, I can, not saying that figuring those things out or, finding solutions to those things, or I should say this, figuring those things out are as important as finding the solutions or doing things that are going to allow me to affect those things. And for me, I've thought about, sometimes like city council as an option, or, if my, how my vote matters, my voice in the political process, all these different things that I can do in and of myself to actually bring about change. Another thing for me is really re-examining my impact, what I'm creating, the nest egg I'm creating, and if that's going to allow me to be in a space where I can create opportunities for other people and kind of give them tools to make changes in their own lives and kind of be that positive conduit for some of the things that we all desire. Because I really do believe that all people desire some of the same things. Like they want a safe place to live. They want to be able to have positive experiences, enjoy with their families, friends, and loved ones. They want to have a sense of belonging. They want to have something that they can do with their skills. They want to be safe, protected. Basics like clean water, an ability to get food. People just want to everybody wants the same things. And so I have really decided, and hopefully this is something that this makes sense. Hopefully this makes sense to people. But we really do have an ability to take that energy that sometimes can just be, so we have so much of it, and we're in a social media age, and we're pretty much we are pretty much connected to our devices. There are people that work literally with game theory and sociology to create that dopamine hit when we're using our devices. And they want us to consume or be fed certain narratives based on what we consume or what we purchase or whatever. And we I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but that's the reality. That's really what they do. I'm in marketing, and that's things are created. Those systems are created to create consumers and to create a base of people that are going to purchase certain products and live a certain way. But it also affects the way that we look at one another, and it affects what we do with our time. And I just am so grateful for that post, because I thought it was so real. And since I've paused right now, I'm actually stopped my car. I can look back at it. But creating, do you spend time during the day creating things? Do you what are you good at? Are you a good artist? Are you creative musically? Are you a great writer? How much time do you spend actually exercising that muscle a day? Or is that time spent looking at the next thing to be frustrated or upset by? Once again, not belittling or minimizing those things, because they are important to find solutions for them. But I just feel like finding those solutions, a lot of times we can spend time doing those things as opposed to consuming more and more of the information for things we already know are true and might not change unless we do something about it. How much time do you spend investing? I know for me, like, this whole channel is about just my change in philosophy about how much time I've wasted, being a fully grown man now, and what I've could have done in earlier years to set myself, my family, and even people that I'm speaking to on this platform up to have better lives for themselves, or be able to survive economic situations like we're experiencing right now. Purchasing, I've talked a lot about my desire to purchase properties. There's I'm setting myself up for that right now. Obviously, already have one rental property, but want to increase my portfolio massively. And am I setting myself up to do that? Exercising, man. Not only does our media consumption kind of train our minds, but it also takes away from times that we can be working on our bodies. And I'm not talking about getting in shape or looking a type of way, but just having better physical health, because that affects our emotional and mental health, but also too just having those positive hormones working in our bodies so that we have just less depression and less anxiety. I actually wrestle with both of those things, and not saying that every one of those situations can be healed or managed just with exercise, but I promise you that it's a very important component. What we eat, are we eating clean? Are we reading every day? I've talked about that before. Are we meditating and really trying to envision the things that we want to see in our lives? All of those things are possible, and those are better things. Those are constructive things that we can do daily that take away from the time that we spend on being outraged, critical, offended, and outraged. And I am acutely aware of this, so I'm going to mention this. People can easily be gaslit. You can have toxic positivity, and you can kind of tell people to cheer up or to focus on other things. This is not that. This is different. What I'm saying is that we are absolutely being fed certain narratives to prevent us from doing these things, because these are the solutions. And I truly believe that that some of these things that we want changed, nobody's going to come and do it for us. They're not doing it out of the kindness of their heart. I believe in that people are created in God's image, and people ultimately can be good if they choose to be, but not everybody wants to do the right things because it's the right thing. So I believe that people who do want to do the right thing, not that they have a responsibility, just that there's a reality that unless you do something yourself, it's not going to change out of the goodness of other people's hearts. So all I'm inviting people to do is just look at it from a different perspective, that in order for things to change, sometimes we have to really take a look and say, are the things that I'm spending my time doing actually contributing to those changes? Or are they just affecting me, the people I love? The amount of time I spend focused on that and I'm not focused on the people I love or the things that I love, or, improving my body, improving my mental health, my emotional health, spending time with people that love me and get me. That's a much better use of our energy. And that's the way that we fight for a lot of the things that we want to be different, is by living better lives, being better people, loving more. Those are the ways that we fight and put ourselves in better positions. And sometimes that means you have to remove yourself from people that constantly make you believe that there isn't an issue, that those problems aren't real. Please continue to do those things. Please continue to put yourself in rooms where your opinion is valued, where your voice is heard. Take yourself out of rooms where it isn't. But at the end of the day, if we're not creating, investing, purchasing, exercising, eating clean, reading and meditating, we're not going to get to where we actually want to end up in the end. We'll be broken by the experiences of the things that have affected us negatively, and we'll be in a space where we're ineffective, out of shape in a lot of cases, hurt, broken, fractured relationships, because we chose to focus on the negative things and not on the things that we can do that are productive. I'm not going to say positive, even though these are positive things. I would say the productive things. So continue to educate yourselves, not just with what's going on in the world, but also what's happening in, your business investments. I'm going to continue to do that. I know it's been a while since I've been on camera, so I look forward to doing some more videos soon. But I just really wanted to comment. Thanks, Elliot. That thing really, really impacted me. It's so true. I've kind of made a commitment to myself to be more along the lines of, consuming less media. I know what's negative out there. I've done a lot of research on a lot of things. But I also know that I have the capacity in and of myself, because I'm talented. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. I have the ability in myself to make changes in my own life and to create things that are going to impact other people in a positive way. And I choose to focus on those things. And I pray and I hope that anyone listening to this or taking this time, I know this is a longer video, this is a YouTube video, anybody that's listening to this, you also have the ability to do those things. Figure out what they are, write it down, manifest it, think positively every day. Do not deny the negative things in your life, but you have to manifest, and you have to imagine, you have to pray, you have to think, you have to believe about the things that you want to happen in your life, and see yourself there before you get there. And I believe we all can do this. Hopefully this is helping someone. This is encouraging someone. If you've listened this far, thank you. Like and subscribe. Continue to work hard at the things that you want for your family, for your friends, your loved ones, for strangers that you want to impact positively. Continue to work hard for those things and continue to be your best you. And I'll see you on the next one.